guys, welcome back to my channel. Super overdue update, but I know I have a few subscribers, so I thought I would update you guys with what's been going on. It's another car vlog. Honestly, it's the only time that I have peace and quiet because the kids are at home or I'm at work, so here goes nothing. Last time I updated you, it was, I think, lining checks and scheduling for the embryo transfer. We did have an embryo transfer on August 5th. So leading up to that, we had the donated embryos, and then we had my really poor quality embryos. My doctor encouraged me to thaw all of the embryos, so we did. We thawed mine and the donor embryos. So the morning of the embryo transfer, my embryologist called me when we were about to leave to give me an update on how all the embryos had thawed, and he told me that 3 out of my 4 embryos, which were all poor quality, thawed better than the donor embryos and actually were good quality embryos now. And he said that he was so shocked, he was so surprised. Obviously, so was I. And I don't know if I told you guys this part. I'd have to watch my other video back, but when we got the donor embryos, the donor family had told us that they're 2 grade 5A top quality embryos. But when the paperwork came to my clinic, they actually weren't. They were actually fair quality. They were 6-day embryos, and they're 3cc quality. So my embryologist said that's just a fair quality. So I refroze the donor embryo, so we still have 2 frozen donor embryos. One of my 4 embryos did not thaw correctly, so they discarded that, but 3 of them did. So they were like, we could just transfer those 3 again. But this time they made me sign some kind of like affidavit thing saying that if all 3 took, that I would reduce to 2 because my embryos looked so good. So I did, even though I would never do that, but I just really wanted to be pregnant and give myself the best chance. So anyways, we did the embryo transfer on August 5th at 5:30 p.m. Everything went smooth, easy peasy, laid there for 30 minutes, left. I didn't plan to test until 6 days past transfer, but I have no self-control, so I tested. I first started testing 3 days past transfer, and there was actually a line that I could see barely. And the crazy thing though is that my wife could see it, and if she can see it, then you know there's something there. So I was like, okay, cool. And then over the next couple of days it got super dark. But of course we were nervous because last time that happened, it was just a few days, it got super dark, and then all of a sudden it lightened up. And that's when we had our chemical last April. So we were cautious. I went and got blood work 6 days past transfer, which would be 11 DPO, and my level was, I think, 87. My beta level was 87, and my progesterone was 76. So I was like, wow, that's a high progesterone. 2 days later, my beta was 64, I think. So it had not exactly doubled. It was a few off. So then I was like instantly panicked. Then I went again 2 days later at 10 days past, and it was 329, which was like perfectly doubled. So I was like still like cautiously optimistic, but still better than I'd ever gotten before. So we're pregnant. It's so exciting. So then I went for an ultrasound with my reproductive endocrinologist on Saturday morning, which was 5 weeks, 2 days. And he puts the ultrasound thing in. He said, "You have 2." And I don't know why. At first I just sat there silent, and then I said, 2 sacks? Like, duh, Kelly. What else is he telling me? What else would he be telling me? There's 2 of. But anyways, just in the moment, you're so shocked that you're like, what? But he said that one, he couldn't see as well. He couldn't see the yolk sac. The other one looks perfect. They come back in a couple weeks. Then I went to my first OB appointment yesterday at 6 weeks exactly, because today I'm 6 weeks in 1 day. It is August 29th. So yesterday my OB, he did another ultrasound, and you could see the 2 sacs on the screen right away, big. So I was like, okay, still pregnant. Whew. And then I seen the first little flicker of a heartbeat, and I was like, no freaking way. So happy, everything looked perfect. And then he showed me the other sac, and he said that the yolk sac in that one looks a little too big, so he didn't have a lot of hope that twin would stick around. But then he seen that one had a heartbeat. He's like, oh wait, it has a heartbeat. But you could obviously see that the heartbeat was slower than the other twin. So he said that one might vanish. I call the vanishing twin. So that might happen with that one. But the one twin looked perfect, measured a day ahead. So I was 6 weeks, and it was measuring 6 weeks 1 day. They didn't check heart rates. And he did not tell me the measurements of the yolk sac, but you could see on the screen it did look bigger than the other one, and you could see visibly that the heart rate was slower. So I got what he was saying. So we're going back on September 12th, and I'll be 8 weeks 1 day. I think I'll be 8 weeks 1 day on that ultrasound, and we'll see if there's still 2 or if there's 1. We will be so grateful either way. But I just feel like we're off to a really good start. And my embryos, the embryos I transferred were my genetic embryos, actually worked. After the doctor made me feel like I was never gonna have eggs or embryos that would work. So I was like, what the heck? This is still mind-blowing. But today I'm pregnant, and I'm super excited. Thanks for following, and I'll try to keep these updates a little more frequent. Bye.